Gary, you should sleep there. Morning. Terribly sleep.
Oh, Gary. Good morning all, hope everyone's well. We'll kick off with as live and then we'll go into a 10:30 Sunday, so it's 10:30 Sunday as we play Monday. If we're already in the room, we'll kick off with Paul from Sky.
Hi Mikel.
Good morning.
Mikel, what did you learn from the game last night and what impact, if any, does it have on your approach to Burnley on Monday?
Nothing. We focus just on the things that are in our hands, which is to prepare in the best possible way to beat Burnley. That's it.
What's your team use, please, for the game?
Well, not much at the moment. We still have a few days till Monday, so we'll have to wait and see how certain players evolve and whether they're available or not for the game.
If you beat Burnley, will you and the players gather on Tuesday to watch Bournemouth against Manchester City?
We prepare just to beat Burnley, that's it.
It's 10 years ago since Jamie Vardy had his Leicester teammates around to his house to watch Chelsea help them save the title. I'm just wondering, is there a player in the squad who would be a most likely candidate to host that kind of evening?
Again, I'm sorry, we're not thinking about that type of thing. It's the only focus is on Burnley and winning that game. That's the things that we can control.
What can you say about the focus at the moment? Because here you are at this stage of the season again, 2 games away, potentially a week away from winning the league.
Well, the team is really present. It's just is living the moment. It's emotional in a really good state. I think the energy level is the right one. We have most players available now. Okay, we lost Ben the other day, but the other ones are coming back as well. So yeah, and everybody obviously is so enthusiastic and so positive about the way that we can finish the season.
In an ideal world, you won't need goal difference, but is that on your mind as part of the preparation for these games?
First of all, you have to earn the right to win the game. And obviously, if I make a difference with more goals, that's obviously even better. But yeah, we all play in very tough matches. We had a really tough match against West Ham. We managed to win it. And it was a great feeling. But we know ideally that scoring goals is going to be important.
On that West Ham game, what have you made of the reaction to that West Ham disallowed goal in the days that followed? And in general, how do you find the consistency around decisions in a packed penalty area?
Yeah, well, the reaction from our side extremely positive because we were so happy with the outcome and the fact that we won the game, such an important game for us as well. And we had a really, really intense week as well with the semi-final of the Champions League. In relation to the reaction, I haven't seen any of that. I'm sorry. I'm very consistent on that since July to now. I think it's very clear. I mean, I think anybody has played football, no discussion about the decision, and I'm glad they took the right one.
And it's a clear blow for Ben White, obviously.
Yeah.
Will he miss the World Cup if called upon? Do you know that?
We have to wait and see. It looks like a long-term injury, so at the moment the focus is that when can we have him back to be available for Arsenal, and that's not going to happen in many weeks.
Just finally, how much thought will go into, in particular, your right-back position for the closing weeks, not just in the league, but of course PSG, when you think of their left-hand side?
We need to look at alternatives. The 2 players that we have, they are not available at the moment, so we need to look and do something else. The good thing is that we have experienced that all over the pitch this season. Because when we had issues, normally they've been in the same positions as well, and we have managed to find still the right level of performance and consistency. So I'm sure we will do that.
Thanks, Mikel.
Thank you.
Jake, Premier League?
Did you watch the game last night?
No, I was in a sponsored dinner.
Okay. Nice.
Eh?
It was nice.
It was good with Emirates. Very good. Really nice people.
Is it also potentially a little bit distracting for you and the players that the talk is not just about winning the game, but the goal difference, like how many goals you might need to score comes into it as well?
I think it's part of the narrative. I mean, there are various options, and this could be one of those. And it's a factor that it's important from the start of the season. We know that the difference is so small, and you can make that difference bigger in your favor. Obviously, it can be important.
How much does it help then at this stage of the season and how things have gone for you so far that actually this game on Monday is at home?
Well, it's the schedule that we have. Obviously, it's been extremely demanding from the beginning. I think the team is coped with that in a really fantastic way. There is no our choice. We have the opportunity from our supporters. It's going to be a Monday night. Let's take it in a really positive way. We leave something incredible with our supporters against Atletico. If we can replicate any of that, I know that the team is going to respond really, really well.
Alex, BBC?
Hi.
Can I just ask about Riccardo Calafiori? He came off at half-time with an injury against West Ham. Has he been able to train since, or is he in base still waiting to find out?
No, we don't know whether it's going to be available now. We still have days ahead. Hopefully it's nothing serious, but we'll have to wait and see how he reacts to that.
With the right-back position, so you're going to look at alternative. Cristhian Mosquera has played there before. Is there a case you could say to Cristhian, it's your position, make it happen, or will you try and be a bit creative?
There are different options, and in relation to the opponent as well, and the things that we want to do with certain players. But we need to be open as well to that, not only to one, but to 2 or 3 options, because games can vary, players can pick an injury, I don't know, and we need to be flexible on that and really think about that option.
Ian, TalkSport?
Hi, Mikel.
Hi. Good, thank you.
Every chance by this time next week you could be a Premier League winner. What's this season has pleased you the most about your team, and has pleased you most about what you've learned?
Probably the capacity to adapt to very difficult and demanding circumstances and still perform and win the amount of games that we've done.
And in terms of the last 2 or 3 years, you've generally been a team trying to hunt down the team at the top of the table. For most of this year, you've been out in front with people snapping at your heels. How much has that been a different pressure for you? Maybe has it been a pressure you've enjoyed more, the fact that others have had to try and match you?
The last few years they've been different. We think we've been in both positions is what it is. I think the fact that we've been at the top for a long time shows the level of consistency and how well the team is done to stay there in this league. But is where we are now more than ever. Obviously, we want to finish in that position, and that's what we're trying to do.
Tom for London?
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Red Action have confirmed they're going to do another Meet the Coach event on Monday before the game, like we saw before the game against Atletico. What was that event like from your perspective inside that coach, seeing the fans, seeing the flares, the noise, everything that was there?
I loved it. I think all the players loved it. I think it built certain energy, connection with them that we haven't experienced before. And it's the whole preparation and the whole atmosphere showed that the level of meaning was higher, and the level of implication and desire and passion from our supporters was different as well, and it really helps.
And can you take us maybe beyond the tinted glass of the coach as well, because we can see the scenes on the outside, but did you see your players react a different way with their faces?
The players were in the other bus, but I could see straight away all the staff and everybody was there just looking at each other. I said, wow, we've taken this now to a different level, and just looking, the engagement, the passion, the enthusiasm of our fans in their eyes, I think that was something special.
James, CBS?
Hi, Mikel. I'd like to take you back to just after the final whistle at the Etihad. I know not one of your favourite memories of the season, but you said then it's a new season. Obviously, like from the outside, it doesn't feel like that, and you've had a rough run of form since then. You've won every game except one, which was at the Metropolitan. What changed? How did the atmosphere swing so shifting, as you're talking now about a really good emotional state?
Well, it was a reset moment. The performance certainly was there, and I think we deserved much more than when we got out of the game. But we used that as fuel to be even more convinced and to understand, okay, what we've done up to now is fine. Let's learn every bit of it, and now let's use it for the last 5 games. That's what is remained, and we have every chance to go and do it.
And just on Jurrien, how is he evolving? Because I think he was around the team for the game at West Ham, but how's he come on?
He wanted to be very close to the team. He's progressed a little bit in the last few days. He's feeling better. We're going to try to get him fit and available as quick as possible. But let's see. Obviously, he's been out now for a while, unfortunately. He's such an important player for us. We all know that. And he's doing everything that he possibly can to help the team in any capacity. And we know his leadership, his quality, and how much the team needs him. And he's trying everything that he can.
And just on what you were talking about earlier in terms of the ability to adapt, is that something you've grown to understand more about yourself, or is there something else that you've, across this season really been able to?
That goes back to recruitment as well, and with the necessities and the demands that the players have nowadays. We need players that are comfortable, able, and they have the qualities to perform in different positions. Otherwise, it becomes really difficult, especially when you get hit with injuries in the same positions for long periods of time. It would have been unsustainable. I mean, what the team has done in that sense, I think it's remarkable.
Matt Standard.
Mikel, on the right-back options, I think in the league phase against PSG last season, you played Calafiori there for 45 minutes. How much is what he offers at left-back transferable to the right?
Well, I think the sample is so tiny, so it's very difficult to judge a player when he had some low minutes. The same when we played a different player, Thomas Partey. We had some really good moments, some others when you don't win, and it's because Thomas is played as a fullback. Declan Rice, when he's played as a fullback against Brighton, it was exceptional. But then the other night, it was something else. Depends. I mean, the sample is still so little. It will remain so little from here to the end of the season to judge whether a player is good enough or can perform the position. And what is the cost of moving a player from one position to the other? And that's the balance that we need to try to find.
And some of the big calls, I guess, you've made recently with your gut in terms of throwing Myles in or other players, those have paid off. Would that give you more confidence, maybe taking a risk with someone else?
I don't know if the work is risk. At the end, we have to make a decision because the circumstances are requiring that. With Myles, it was a bit different. It was a choice because what we saw and what we believed that he could do and what the team was needing. And I think he's done really, really well.
Nick at the back.
Hi.
I was going to ask about how you sort of handle the mentality of your squad coming into these really crucial games. There's a lovely video on YouTube of Myles being taught how to cook by his grandma the other day. It was just a reminder.
How to cook? I haven't seen that video. Is he good or no?
Well, it's his first time.
That's a no.
It's just a reminder how young some of your players are. I just wonder whether you treat them differently. Are you like a sort of father figure to the teenagers and the younger players?
Well, they have a great father and mother. I don't think they need a father, but they have somebody that they can rely on whenever they need. And yeah, we are very aware that at 18 you are a kid, but at 22, 23 you still have a lot to learn. At 28 as well. I'm 44 now, and I still have a lot to learn, and I need great people around me to give me advice and support. We all need that. They're all in different stages. The thing is how willing they are and how humble they are to try to learn and to be given advice and support at the same time. That level of between support and demands, I think it's that's when the sweetest spot is. And yeah, families are critical, so I'm glad to hear that he's learning how to cook.
Presumably on match day in the change rooms, you just treat everyone the same.
Well, there are generic messages and generic demands to all of them, but then the players are very specific. They all are in a different moment as well. It's not just about the age or the nationality. It's what the player requires to perform at the highest level, and that's what we have to try to provide.
Okay, last couple in the live. Phil from PA.
Hi.
Just on Jurrien again, you said that he's doing everything he possibly can. Does that mean he's got a chance to play?
There is a chance, but how big that chance is, I cannot tell you. Being completely honest, he's gonna try to do everything he can to convert that chance as high as possible in the shortest possible period, and that's the challenge ahead.
Just on this league title, obviously 2 points clear, 2 to go. Do you feel as though you've got one hand on the trophy?
I feel that we have another opportunity on Monday to be a step closer, and that's the only thing.
Okay, finally we'll go to Pablo from Spanish media.
I am Pablo Roman from Bilbao and working for AFP for San Francisco. I was just wanted to ask you about the contribution of the Spanish coaches, because you and Guardiola are fighting for the title and you are in the final, he's in the final. So which is the contribution and also the influence of the Spanish coaches since Benitez, because the way of playing is changing with short passes and playing from behind. What do you think about it?
I think the contribution comes first by the opportunity given by this country, this league, to a lot of foreign managers to fulfill a dream and to give them the chance to do what they love the most in the best league in the world, in my opinion. And that's it. And then it's football, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But I think we are very grateful, especially the way we get treated here and the opportunity that we've been given.
What they make you difference? Because many clubs are following the Spanish coaches. Luis Enrique is playing with you as well. So what makes you so trendy? Because there is Emirates.
The players, because they are the most important ones. The players are the ones that make the difference. I have no doubt about that.
Okay, guys, that finishes us live. We're now going to 10:30.